Shalom, shalom. I want to start off giving all praise, honor, and glory. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh, Shah, Hakodas with the thumb. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Confusion of Faith brethren. Join unto our ranks. This is Brother Yahweh Saab out of GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson out of the book by John Hall, Guinea Pigs, Technologies of Control. I'm on chapter 10, Rise of Social Democracy, Sociocracy. Um, and I guess I'm gonna start off because this is all the devices of the wicked, you know. So bear with me for a second so I can get a scripture. Salakia. I'm wanting to get the book of Ecclesiastes 12, and what's that, 4? Salakia 12 and 14. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 14. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So at the end of the day, you know, this book that I'm reading out of is all about the technologies of control. And like I said, the chapter reads Rise of the Social Democracy, Sociocracy, Sociocracy. For and then it's actually leaving a scripture, and the scripture that he's using as a subtitle is Second Thessalonians, Slovakia, verse chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, "For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat." Now I don't know why he used this scripture, but we have to read into this book to understand. So it reads, for some time, biblical scholars and liberal proponents of socialism have art. Oh, see, I can see why. Because basically, he's going into socialism. So you know, like you got certain governments that's they go into communism and socialism. Um, Let me go in and break down the definition of that. Salakia. Salakia. So I'm not gonna look it up off my phone because, like I said, I told you sometimes I gotta, you know, it, this is a phone that doesn't have internet access. But it says socialism, and it's a noun. It says the political and economic theory of social organization. Salakia, social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Policy or practice based on the political and economic theory and Marxism theory of transitional social state between the overflow of capitalism and the realization of socialism. So bear with me again. Now you heard what it said. It said from capitalism to communism. So this is the definition of communism. It's a noun, a political theory derived from Karl Marx, who, if you ever took the time to research him, he was into Satanism. And you can't go by based on one person's, word, because, you got people that lie on people. They said King James was a homosexual. But when you come up with that, you'll find out that was based on one man's word after King James was dead. And then if you go into the history of the person that said it, you'll come to find out he had a reason to actually try and smear King James' name. But I'm not going to teach you like that. Sometimes you got to go put some energy into looking for some, so especially knowledge on your own. And only a true king can understand and respect that. It says a political theory derived from Karl Marx advocating class war. I'm going to read it again. A political theory derived from Karl Marx advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned. Each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs. So when you take the time to really relate on that, that's why he used that Second Thessalonians 3 and 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you. If Salaki, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. So basically, they want to put everybody in position. If you ain't got some, and we was that's a spirit because we was just talking about like that movie Time with Justin Timberlake and all that. Like if you ain't like producing something for this society, what's the point for you even being? Because like I say, right now they got you used to actually like expecting to be taken care of. You got a lot of people thinking that this shit'll never stop until you know what I mean? Like, if you can't see there's something coming in the spirit, like, you ain't even got to literally see it. You know what I mean? People, you probably got somebody out there that's so spiritually in tune with the Most High that they probably can't even physically see, but spiritually know. Like, they just hearing everything, you know? Because when the Most High take one sense from you, he actually heightens the other senses. And then wisdom and understanding are actual senses as well. I'm going to reread it from the top. For some time, biblical scholars and liberal proponents of socialism have argued back and forth over the biblical interpretations of the economics. They are dramatically overthinking the issue. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, is a capitalist, and the Bible teaches the virtues of free market economy. The verse above from Second Thessalonians nearly extols the virtue of hard work and providing for oneself. Moreover, one of the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not steal, clearly advocates the individual right to private property. Ironically, socialists always turn to quotes from the Bible regarding charity for the poor and their argument for socialism being the basis of the Bible. True, the Bible does emphasize charitable giving to the help the poor. Most Christian churches have charitable programs in place that utilize donations for outreach to the impoverished for food, medical aid, and dental aid and other necessities. The funding comes from donations from parishioners who feel Yahweh has blessed them and chose to share their wealth as a sharing of Yahweh's blessings with those less fortunate with themselves. Now, I could go into scripture because, yeah, like if you go into the book of Ruth, Ruth actually worked in, that's where you get the kinsman redeemer, you know what I mean? Like, Ruth was married to somebody that was in, I can't think of his name. Bear with me for a second. Salakia, Ruth married Boaz, and he actually went through a whole thing that he had to do to actually marry her, and that's where you get the whole kinsman redeemer from, and that's what Yahweh Shai is to us. But I want to just say this on this note because it was crazy. That's why it's so important to that's why it says in scripture, study to show thyself approved. As much as we read the Bible, sometimes we know it's spiritual when you can't remember certain scripts or whatnot. At the end of the day, you just need to study, show thyself approved. Because I was just researching, I tried to look up the name of her husband, and I've read the story multiple times. So I'm like, and when I put it into the internet, it didn't bring up his name correctly. I'm like, it started with an M, and I'm like, that ain't his name. You know what I mean? And then I had to do it again, and that's when it came with the right name. So my point of bringing this up is this internet will mislead you. You know what I mean? Like just because you can get information instantaneously doesn't mean that it's necessarily the correct information. You know, remember, it's so many pitfalls and snares out here right now. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, through the spirit, I felt I needed to say that. So back to the lesson. It says, I read all that. Socialism, on the other hand, advocates helping the poor by stealing from the wealthy. This is evident. Well, the definition of socialism says that we all are the same equal. But, socialism doesn't really work like that. They tell you that, but then the government controls everything. They just basically allot everybody the same amount. It'd be pretty much like it is today, because you got to remember, like Obama had everybody sign up for Obamacare. I mean, not that it ain't Obamacare no more, but yet still everybody got this free medical. But you got to remember, the politicians ain't under the government health care. So yeah, all the citizens will get this shit, but they not. You know what I mean? Like they got the best health care in the world. You know what I mean? Like this is evident in the progressive tax system that is currently in place in the United States. One of our founding fathers in the United States, Benjamin Franklin, which was a fucking demon if you ever go watch him or researching, Salakia, if you ever go researching, best summarized how poverty should be handled. I'm going to stop there. Let's see what he